Hello friends, R.P. Srivastava here with a new topic in economics, Knight's theory of profit. We have to discuss various theories of factor pricing, and one of the factor of production is entrepreneur, and profit is very much associated with entrepreneur. So let us have a basic idea about profit. What is profit? Profit is the reward of the entrepreneur rather of entrepreneurial function. Profits differs from the return on other factors in three important respects. Other factors are there, but here profit is quite different with other factors of production. And the first point of difference, that profit is a residual income, not contractual or certain income as the case of other factors. Second, there are much greater fluctuation in profits than in reward of other factors. And third important difference, that is profits may be negative, whereas rent, wages and interest must always be positive. In economics, profit is regarded as a reward for the entrepreneurial function of final decision making and ultimate uncertainty bearing. The profit and difference theory of profit determination was based upon the different functions played by entrepreneur, and the profit has its role in production. So let us discuss Knight's theory of profit. Let us now discuss the introduction part of Knight's theory of profit. F.H. Knight gave the basic explanation of the emergence of profit. According to Knight, it is uncertainty bearing rather than risk taking, which is the special function of the entrepreneur and leads to profit earning by the entrepreneur. While F.B. Hawley was first to give risk theory of profit, but here he fails to distinguish in between risk and uncertainty. So various theories are there put forward by different economists, and profit is decided as according to the role played by the entrepreneur in the function of production. So the different theories of profit analyze the different important function of the entrepreneur. As for example, Schumpeter emphasizes over innovation, Hawley over risk, A.C. Pigou and Shackle also associated with risk, but uncertainty bearing criteria was emphasized by F.H. Knight, and that's why this is known as Knight's theory of profit or uncertainty bearing theory of profit also. Those who ascribe profits to the existence of monopolistic and monoposonistic power, like Joan Robinson, Chamberlain, Kalecki and other socialist economists, regard profit as non-functional income. These are just monopoly profits. So various ideas and theory related with the decision of profit. Under certain situation, profit may just be a windfall as well. Knight's theory, as also known as uncertainty bearing theory of profit. The classical definition of uncertainty, first given by Professor Knight, is that uncertainty exists when there is a more than one possible outcome to a particular course of action. The form of each possible outcome is known, but the chance or probability of getting any one particular outcome is not known. If the probabilities of actually obtaining certain outcomes are known, then this situation is one of the risk, and that is not uncertainty, which can be insured against. So here Knight differentiate in between risk and uncertainty, where a risk can be insured on the basis of probability that is associated with that very outcome or happening, but uncertainty can't be insured, having no probability theory is able to analyze or interpret the outcomes involved. Profits, a non-contractual residual, accrue to the entrepreneur for his non-transferable function of bearing uninsurable uncertainty. So, the profit is a non-contractual residual. What means residual? That what left after paying all other factors of production that accrues to the entrepreneur. So that's why profit is a residual, and it is the payment that will paid to the entrepreneur for his functions that can be performed by entrepreneur only. It can't be transferred to other factors of production, and thus uninsurable uncertainty, not insurable risk, which gives rise to profit. This theory of profit is revolving around the concept of uncertainty. So, what are the changes that led to appearance of the conditions of uncertainty? According to Professor Knight, profit is the reward for bearing uninsurable risk and uncertainty. Uninsurable risk and uncertainty. This appears due to uncertainty in ex post and ex ante incomes. For the entrepreneurs, there are two types of changes which are responsible for conditions of uncertainty. The first type refers to innovation which are introduced by the entrepreneurs themselves, and the second type of changes are those which are external to the firms and even industries. These are changes in fashion and taste of the people, changes in government policies, changes in income of the people, movement of prices as a result of inflation and depression, changes in production, technology, etc., etc. So these are the changes in which either entrepreneur themselves involves or factors beyond his control are liable to lead the changes, creating the situation of uncertainty. The risk of fire, theft, accidents, etc. faced by the entrepreneurs can be properly insured against on the payment of a fixed premium and can be included in the cost of production. But as far as other changes are concerned, they are quite uncertain and that are out of the periphery of insurance. It means they can't be insured, and that leads to the situation of uncertainty liable for profit to be generated, and that goes to entrepreneur. As in case of this theory, uncertainty bearing is the important factor. Can it be considered as a factor of production? Like waiting capital is also a factor of production. Like other factors of production, uncertainty bearing has a supply price. That is, unless a certain return is expected, no entrepreneur will be induced to face uncertainty. And here lies the similarity about the entrepreneur and other factors of production. The supply of this factor, uncertainty bearing, depends upon the temperament of the entrepreneur, the total resources at his command, and the proportion of the resources he is inclined to expose to the uncertainty. So, the very much uncertainty is related with the qualities of entrepreneur and properties he contains. A rich entrepreneur or of a bold and venturesome spirit who has made up his mind to invest a big proportion of his wealth can bear a great uncertainty, while a greater gain is necessary to induce an entrepreneur to expose a large proportion of his capital than when only a small proportion is exposed. So, since entrepreneur is very much involved in the total idea of production, and his property, his resources, as well as his prestige is on stake, and that's with uncertainty that led to evolvement of profit that goes to entrepreneur. Various criticisms were laid against this idea or theory of profit that is based upon uncertainty bearing criteria, as uncertainty is not the only factor that limits the supply of entrepreneurs. Lack of funds, lack of knowledge, lack of opportunities, and the presence of economic friction are some of the factors that restrict the supply of entrepreneur. And when we talk about in terms of demand and supply of entrepreneur, the situation appears that only uncertainty is not a hindrance or the factor that decides the availability of entrepreneurs. Uncertainty bearing is not the only function of the entrepreneur. The profit that he gets is also the reward for other services that he renders, and that services are initiating, coordinating. All these are very much associated with entrepreneurial activity. Uncertainty bearing cannot be elevated to the status of a factor of production. As in earlier slide, I tries to explain that is uncertainty bearing is just like a factor of production, and as other factors of production gets their remuneration in different forms like rent, wages, etc., etc. So, the profit is also payment for entrepreneur as a factor of production. Uncertainty bearing cannot be elevated to the status of a factor of production. It is an element of real cost, which means exertion, abstinence, sacrifice, etc., as distinguished from money cost. It does not seem to have much relevance to the real world. Businessmen continue to estimate profit ex ante in defiance of this theory. And lastly, this theory has been criticized as heavily insulated from empirical testing and empirical relevance. Here, as you know, in case of joint stock company, the function of managing is a paid activity that is part of contract, while in earlier discussion we have said that profit is not a contractual, but it is a residual income. So, having all these points against it, we can criticize the theory that is not empirically relevant. Conclusively, it can be said that in comparison with other theories of profit, Knight's theory is more broad, It includes risk and uncertainty, economic changes, and trade related ability aspects simultaneously. And that's why making it more considerable in realms of theories of profit. It should be noted that uncertainty in its term is not something constant. There are degrees of uncertainty. The greater the degree of uncertainty, the higher must be the profits to compensate the entrepreneurs for bearing risk. And here, having all its shortcomings, it can be said that the Knight's theory of profit is refinement in other theories that were come before it regarding discussion of profit, where it emphasizes over uncertainty aspects of production that bear by the entrepreneur. But here it must be reminded that uncertainty is defined the risk which is uninsurable, and other thing here is that profit is not a contractual but residual income.